Let's do this. Kristine, Carroll, tell us about you, and let's jump right into Shakeology.
Hello, guys. Obviously, my name is Kristine Carroll because Brittany just said that, but I have been a coach. It'll be 5 years, end of July. So I am a lifetime 7-star and a 2017 elite coach, and it never gets old saying that. It is just surreal. So anyways, so I Beachbody was kind of my saving grace, and I actually did my I Am Team Beachbody last week and was able to kind of, go back and reflect, but I cry all the time. But I've suffered from depression, anxiety, insomnia, all these things. It really took hold in college, but I think it started in high school. Insecure, just worried about what people thought, jealous, bitter, I was really, I was thick. I started gaining weight in high school, and then you know how college goes. So it just kind of, I would lose a little bit of weight, and then like I met Lincoln, and then all we did was like eat and drink and watch movies and whatever. So anyways, come full circle, like, we get married and move a lot. So I would start a new med, and then we'd move, and I wouldn't take it anymore. And I would see this therapist, and I'd go see that. So it was always kind of back and forth. And then when we moved to Texas it's been over 5 years ago, it got really, 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 really bad. I was checked out, self-medicating. Like I didn't know who was around me. I didn't care who was around me. I always say I was never suicidal, but I wouldn't have cared if like someone hit me with a car. That's how I felt. And Lincoln was like, he basically kicked me out, and he said, you need to go get help. But I always joke that I shouldn't joke, but like one night I was scrolling Facebook when I was checked out, and I saw a post about a challenge group, and I had heard, you hear, but I was like, whatever. So I said, okay. So I bought Les Mills Pump and Shakeology and literally packed it with me because I had to go find some place to go. And a friend of mine was good enough to let me stay with her. So I started outpatient treatment. And I started Les Mills Pump. I'd get up every morning, and I would early work out, drink my shake, go to like outpatient for hours a day. I hated it. I cried the first few days. But they diagnosed me bipolar there. Within like the first 5 minutes, I walked in the door. And I always say that as bad as that was probably the biggest blessing, because I'm like, you were finally diagnosed, right? I started sleeping. I was on the right meds. I started like all this group therapy and just meeting all kinds of people with all different kind of mental health issues. And you realize you don't have it so bad, and on and on and on. And then I'm going on longer than I thought. Sorry. So anyways, I lost weight. I felt great. I was mentally good. I came home. I had a lot of work to do at home, but I went to my coach, and I'm like, I don't know what just happened, but I love this, and I want to be a coach. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to be a coach. So I never looked back. Okay. So I'm a coach. I'm happy. I love it. I've loved it since day one. So as far as Shakeology goes, I just, you drink it and you're like, I feel good. Yay. And I never really understood about it. And I was like, I need to know why this is doing what it's doing. And that started with, what year was it? Vegas. You guys probably remember. Well, those that are, I don't know if I'm the oldest coach or not. Age-wise, I know I am. But other than that, Jay Stanford did a Shakeology training with Scotty Hobbs and Monica Ward, and it rocked my world. I had no clue, and I was like, this stuff is amazeballs. So from there on, I started educating myself, and then I started like sharing with my team, and just since then, I find it an absolute passion. I mean, and I knew like going into this, I was thinking, I'm like, you guys probably know, more or, so much about this, but I realized that my new coaches needed to be educated. And so they knew, because, when they come in and they're like, everybody says it's too expensive, or, they can't afford it, or, they tried it once and it doesn't taste good. And all these simple objections that can be easily, to me, I don't want to say resolved right away, but they can be addressed. So kind of how I teach my coaches is the more tools you have in your tool belt, the easier it is to get someone to understand Shakeology. And I'll post these in the links, but these are things I always share with my coaches is that Shay Stanford video. There's the Shay Stanford video. She was Scotty and Monica. And then I found another one she had done that's about 45 minutes long. It's just her. And I think she did it for a team call for someone. I love that. And then there was the Tony Horton, How Healthy Is Your Shake? I don't know. I mean, I send that to people all the time. all the time. It is just, and like, I'll watch it again every time I send it because it's in the background. And then I don't know if any of you have been on those Shakeology surges, but they did one in December and they did one again in February. And Darren spoke on the one in February. And I mean, I don't care how many times I hear it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So those are tools that I try to give to my team. And that way, you know, I might not remember it, but I've got my notes and I'm able to be like, oh my gosh. So as far as talking to the individual about it, because I know not everyone cares that, you know, the deep rooted, you know, 41 superfoods and just how just, you know, is going, you know, I'm not going to give them a detail of all 70 ingredients, but I do try to like, and I tell my team this, think about cater to that individual and what their needs might be. And I always cover like, and I don't want to say the basics because the basics are awesome, but you know, helps you lose weight, increase your energy, improve your digestion, reduce cravings, and overall health. You know, and I kind of tell them like that's kind of the surface, and those are totally legit, obviously benefits. But then talking to that person, you know, oh, and I like to tell them how it's all natural, and I love to focus on like these are ingredients around the world that we don't get in our everyday diet, because I always hear like I eat clean, and I'm like I'm sure you do, but these ingredients you cannot even get from your organic produce in the grocery store. So, you know, it might be someone that has high blood pressure, or it might be someone that's pre-diabetic and, or, you know, just has like, you know, heart trouble or whatever. So I kind of, you know, I go that route where like it's clinically proven. And I always make sure that I have specifics, because it's so easy to say it's clinically proven to reduce diabetes, you know, to help with diabetes and lower cholesterol. But I always like to either, you know, I'll go find a YouTube video that shows, and I try to keep it, I always say this, keep it short, because some of them are like 15 minutes long and no one's going to watch 15 minutes. But like a 3-minute video on how someone will say, how Shakeology helped me with my diabetes. And I make sure I watch it so I know what I'm sending them. Or I'll go into like one of my coaches' page, like my upline or R, and I'm like, okay, I need numbers. Who's pre-diabetic and had their numbers taken and 30 days later told me. So I can go and show them the specifics, because I think that's super important. And, you know, people, what do they say? Facts, what is it? Stories tell, facts sell. Is that right? I don't know. But they see the facts. And then what I love is that I love everything it does, but how it helps with so many autoimmune diseases, because you hear that's so common. And I love that I actually have personally sponsored coaches that have dealt with a lot of stuff. You know, one of them had severe RA, debilitated, and just her transformation through Shakeology, I use that one all the time. Again, just to have a specific person that I can say, and this, what, you know, this is a friend of mine, this. So those are just things I do, and then I will get as nitty gritty into it as they want, or they might tell me to shut up. So, you know, they have they have the info. As far as costs go, instead of like, I always try to leave that at the end. I want to make sure they understand. You know, they'll might ask me, I'm like, well, what are your concerns? And just, you know, I think we all, probably a lot do that, but I always tell them the daily cost. I say it's $4.33 a day. So for your 30-day supply, $129.95. And then I might throw in there, you know, don't you wish you could get 30 days of fresh food at the grocery store? You know, and then if they go like, oh, you know, oh my gosh, I always try to teach them. And I think I learned this from the Surge. Oh shoot, my husband's calling. Oh well. I learned this from the Surge, is that talk to them about being a replacement cost and not an additional cost. So I might ask someone to share their daily food intake or even their grocery list. And so we can be like, okay, look, you're going to Starbucks 3 times a week, or you're going to Chick-fil-A before work, and that's something that can easily be replaced. Or even like you're eating Pop-Tarts and, you know, Fruity Pebbles, that easy. And that has seemed to help a lot, just to kind of give them that perspective. And honest, I mean, I know that's very short and sweet, but that's kind of what I do. I think it's important though for me just to tell my coaches that, because it's so easy for them, because they don't know enough they know how it made them feel. Oh, that's something else I tell them too. Tell them how it makes you feel. But that if I'm like, take the time. I just had a coach tell me yesterday, she's like, I watched 2 hours of Shakeology videos and I know so much more now. And I'm like, that you can go and do. Now you have something to use so you don't come crying, crying in your water that someone said no. So that's it. Or not it, but that's
But no, like it's short, simple, and to the point. And I think that's really what it's all about. You don't need to get into the 41 superfoods. You don't need to get into the 70 ingredients because that's overwhelming. But I love the fact of asking, how does it make me feel? Like, and I've heard, coaches within their challenge groups go back and ask, hey, what has been your week experience so far with Shakeology, and talk about that, and just getting them to really engage about it. I know Jalen, Christy, and Darby, you all do obviously extremely well with Shakeology as well. Is there anything that you would add on to this?
So I was just going to say, I do what's called Take It In Tuesday on my challenge groups, and it's all specifically geared towards Shakeology. So I play some of those videos that she talked about, but I also research specific ingredients. And so this month we're only doing the adaptogenic herbs. And so I found like 4 to 5 minute videos that talk about the benefits of that specific herb. And then I also have daily check-ins where they have to answer questions, and I'll make them go research an ingredient and then post a snippet of what they learned. So there's like 50 comments of different ingredients and what those ingredients do in Shakeology, and they're doing the research themselves.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I've had extremely good retention because of that. And I constantly ask, what have you noticed it doing? Or what have you saved money on because of using Shakeology? Or what was something Shakeology did that you didn't expect it to do? So it's just getting them to be aware, and then the retention is way higher.
That's good.
I love that. Thank you, Jalen.
Really good.
What about you, Christy?
Sorry, I just got done drying my hair, so my hair is kind of a fro right now.
You're
But
good.
one thing that we do that helps us a lot is we actually run a Shakeology challenge every single month, the last week, and it's a 5-day Shakeology challenge. And every single coach on my team does this now. And the reason why we do it is because each person might only get, 3 to 10 people. But the return on it is huge. Like my leaders that do this, usually 80% of the people in that group will end up buying a challenge pack or end up being a coach. My newer coaches that do this, or even myself, my return is usually 50%. So for instance, last month I had 6 people in it on the first day of the month. Or the first couple days here, I've had 4 people buy challenge packs coming out of that Shakeology challenge from last week. So I'm like a huge believer in it, and we sell them on Shakeology ahead of time before they buy the challenge pack. And I post a video from one of our trainers, a short video, so they get used to the Beachbody workouts. I don't sign them up for the BOD free challenge right away. I know most coaches would do that, but that's kind of overwhelming. I try to keep my free challenges so simple that I'm just posting a 3 to 5 minute workout. So I'm like, you guys, I'm doing baby steps with you. All I want you to do is drink your Shakeology and do this 3 to 5 minute Beachbody workout. So that's what I do.
Okay, I let them. So you do the Shakeology challenge where they have to buy the samples, so they're drinking it every day. So if you're doing it the last week of the month, when do you start promoting that?
Usually,
so they have it.
But you see, we mail the samples ourselves. We don't have them coming from corporate, so we have better control of arrive. And we also, it helps with our volume when we're ordering it coming through that way, to be honest with you. And it also helps us sell our shakes as well if we have extra shakes. And it helps our whole team, selling shakes. And I live so close to so many of my coaches. You guys were driving around like swapping shakes, getting the right flavors ready and all that kind of stuff all the time.
Okay.
You cut out. When did you say that you start promoting that? Did you say?
I didn't get that either.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2 weeks before.
2 weeks before. Okay.
And another reason why I like to mail it out is I mail out Shakeology information
Yes.
with the shakes, you know, and we have a recipe menu that we made that are made by coaches, like our top favorite recipes. And like, we go into tons of detail on how to make your shake. You know, we're like, everyone pull out their blender. Okay. Pull out your shake packet. Everybody has to have unsweetened almond milk. Okay. Don't just put it in a shaker cup and start shaking with water. That's gross. We're like so specific. We're like, you will not like it that way. Nobody does.
I do. I think I'm the only one because I hate to clean a blender. I'm the only one. And that's the only reason. But go on.
You are the only one.
I love that. I love that. And then do you do it with your coaches?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is most of us, like my last time I did it, I had like 7 people in the group, and I ended up I had 4 people end up buying a challenge pack, you know, but honestly, some of my other coaches have a higher percentage rate than I do, getting them turned around into buying challenge packs. So,
but you all do it together. It's one group.
I mean, I do it with my newer PS coaches. My leaders, they do their own coaching.
Okay.
They don't need me.
Have you noticed your retention rate? Because I know you said that. Have you noticed your retention rate be different since you started promoting these Shako challenge groups?
You know what? My Shakeology retention has been so high this year, higher than ever. And I really think it's because I'm presenting that I'm going to work with them for a year. Like, this is a year commitment up front. And so they think like, well, you know, it's a year commitment. And I also offered to send them a shake flavor of a flavor of a different shake, if they want to try something new, so that if they didn't like love their first flavor, they can try something new without them thinking, gosh, I'm going to have to spend $130 again and not love it. So that's what I do. And I've had the highest retention rate. And another thing I want to share with you guys that works also, all of our challenge on HD in a separate group, and we're doing giveaways for our challengers on HD. We're like, you guys are so special for being on HD. We're doing giveaways for y'all every month for being like our VIP HD customers. We love you guys, you know? And we enter them all on this wheel, and we spin it each month, and we're sending out prizes to all our HD customers. And they love that. So anyway, it's just another idea.
I love it. Thank you for reminding me. I knew you did that, but I haven't heard you talk about that for quite some time. So thank you for bringing that back up. Love it, love it. Jalen, Darby, do you want to add anything in there?
We pretty much do the same thing as far as HD gifts. So that's been huge. And I actually just reminded them, like, I do weekly prizes, like an Energize packet. So they're little, but like, they love that because that is like something fun get in the mail. So I do weekly prizes if they check in every day on a post I do. So they have to answer the questions. So it's not even about them being perfect, but they have to be on Shakeology to get it. And then for a monthly prize, I do like a t-shirt. It's like a $10 prize. And then for a quarterly prize, I'm ordering them the Arabella leggings. So it's just incentive for them to keep going, and they're the ones that are clearly having results. So they stay on Shakeology, they stay consistent. It's easy for me to share, and a lot of them are converting to coaches. And then today, since it's a new quarter, I just reminded them we have to be on Shakeology HD to qualify for prizes. So same thing, like they don't get prizes if they're not. That's obviously where we get our income to pay for them. I'm like, as much as I love you guys, I'm not going to pay lots of money for you guys to have prizes to like not use Shakeology, which, let's be honest, how many people actually stay successful without being on it? Like, you don't, because there's nothing holding them accountable. So anyway, that's what we do too.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. Darby, did you want to say anything? I know you're...
Yeah, I wanted to ask Jalen. So you're sending like the big prize to your customers who stay on each quarter for the whole quarter?
Yeah. So they have to check in every single day of the week to get a weekly prize, and then they have to check in for 4 weeks straight to get the monthly, and they have to check in for 12 weeks straight to get the quarterly one. So I'm actually surprised. I think I have like 10 that actually did every single day of the quarter. So that's what we do.
Oh, I love that. That's such a good idea. Because, yeah, you're right. Like, even something little, and it like gets people to be like, oh, I want that. Like regardless of what it is, people just want to like win something. So I love that idea. That's awesome. I'm definitely going to do something like that.
She has a big bite of food in her mouth, and she's nodding to you. I got your back, girl. So perfect. Is there anything else when it comes to Shakeology? I think, you all hit it perfectly. I love everything that you do to really, build the excitement, build the awareness of it, build the consistency of it. I love, Christy, how you did say, you know what, this is a year commitment. You're not afraid to say, this is what we're going to do for the next year. This is how we're going to work out together, and you're going to be drinking your Shakeology. One thing, Kristine, is from here forward, always say clinically shown, no longer clinically proven. That did get changed at the last Super Saturday just because to cover our booties on that. But we all know what it's done for us, obviously. And so I love the fact that you go into your big team page and ask them what are their results and get a tally. And you can literally specifically say that specific person. So I love, love, love that. I guess from here, it's super exciting because in 3 days, 4 days. Well, we'll just pretend everybody's on Super Saturday or Super Sunday in here. So 4 to 5 days, you ladies will know the new flavors of Shakeology. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It is so exciting. And it's just going to make our business that much better and that much greater. So really drive the excitement of Super Saturday. Big things are happening. A lot of new announcements. Holy cow. But other than that, is there anything else that we need to go over on Shakeology? I loved this because it was short, simple, sweet, and that's how it should be when we're talking about it, right? Don't over flipping complicate it. Don't beat the dead horse. So anything else, Kristine, you want to share since this was your call and your opportunity to share about it?
It's funny you say that because I used to vomit the information. And thank God I had a couple of friends that were honest enough with me. And one was the guy, and he wrote me back. He's like, dude, if you do that for every person, you're screwed. So I realized I had to kind of, that's when you're new and you're young and you're excited. And it was just like, and it does this and it does this and it does all these things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, short and sweet.
I love it. Okay, ladies, you all have an amazing, amazing day. I will talk to you all very, very soon and see you after Super Saturday and the big announcements.
Hey, Brittany.
Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow for a call, can you just call me? Because I'm going to be driving to the dentist.